Okay, so this is the last 3 questions from the radical review sheet, okay? And this one's gonna be maybe a little tougher from the standpoint that after I multiply by the radical that's in the denominator, I'm gonna get a radical in the numerator that's gonna be reducible or simple, like that can be simplified. Okay, so that'll be what makes this question a little bit more challenging. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, just like in the last video, I'm gonna multiply by root 8 over root 8, and I'm gonna see that I get 4 root 16 over 8 now, okay, which we can get, I'm gonna leave the 8 and the 4 for a second. You can deal with it now, but you don't have to. 4 times 4 over 8, which is gonna be 16 by 8, which is gonna be 2. Okay, that's your simplification of the original. All right. In the bottom, or sorry, in question T, we're going to multiply by root 14 over root 14. I'm going to see 4 root 7 times root 14 will be the square root of 98 over 2 times 14. Okay, from here, 98's a relatively new one. I didn't see this too many times on the practice sheet here, but it turns out that the root of 98 can be written as the square root of 49 times the square root of 2, and then that's going to be over 2 times 14, which would be 28. Okay, or we can leave it for a second and see what happens. So why don't we leave it for a second? 2 times 14, okay, and we'll see if there's any reduction that can end up happening here. Okay, so I'm going to get 4 times 7 times root 2 over 2 times 14. That's it, 2 times 14. So 4 divided by 2 is going to reduce to 2, and 7 over 14 is going to reduce to, 2 over 1, multiplied against 7 over 14 is going to reduce to 1/2, and then I'm going to multiply that by, there's nothing down here except for a 1, so it's just going to be multiplied by root 2 by 1, and then I can see the 2's end up dropping out. Okay, and all I'm left with is just root 2. That would be a little bit, not that it's wrong to have multiplied this out in the beginning, or even dealt with the 2 and the 4 in one stage. It'll all work out. Just sometimes maybe nice to not bury the factor of 2 into the 14 or the 4 into what would have been the 7. It's just nice to leave it separate as two separate factors, so that there is maybe some simplification that can be done. Okay. And especially in the interest of this particular test, where we're not going to have a calculator, okay, but rather just the multiplication table. Okay, so for you, this will be the last radical question that we end up doing. We're going to multiply by root 3 over root 3, and I'm going to get 7 times root 33 over 2 times 3, which is going to result in 7 root 33 over 6. Nothing else to be done. Okay, so that is what I have for you for radicals review. I'm sure we could find some more in the textbook if we need it, but that was a lot. Okay.